Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. In this video, we're going to be discussing recent developments which appear to denote the likelihood that the Trump administration is going to increase the capacity of various detention facilities in the United States, especially with respect to immigrants, or I should say undocumented/illegal immigrants in the United States. In a recent article I found, this article is coming from Zero Hedge directly. The article is entitled "Trump Plans Massive Increase in Federal Immigration Jails Report." To quote directly from this article, which goes on to quote another source as well, following a 43% year-over-year surge in illegal immigrants arrests between January 22nd, 2017 and September 9th, 2017, the USA Today is reporting that the Trump administration is quietly reaching out to private prison operators with requests to house some 4,000 detainees of the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, aka ICE. Now, the article here is quoting directly from USA Today. The Trump administration is planning an increase in federal immigration jails across the country for the thousands of additional undocumented immigrants its agents are arresting. In recent weeks, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE agency, has put out requests to identify privately run jail sites in Chicago, Detroit, St. Paul, Salt Lake City, and southern Texas, according to notices published on a federal contracting website. It did not publicly announce its plans to house 4,000 more detainees at the facilities. The detention expansion would represent the latest step in President Trump's efforts to crack down on illegal immigration, end quote. What's going on here? Well, as we've noted in other videos on this channel, the Trump administration has been rather clear in that they are taking matters with respect to immigration quite seriously. They're strictly enforcing pre-existing laws. They're strictly enforcing pre-existing policies, and in some cases they're changing certain policies to make things in certain ways, I guess it can only be called more difficult under certain circumstances. And now it would appear that the enforcement side of things, which has been ramped up over these past few months, now they're having to deal with the numbers of people who have been apprehended who are undocumented in the United States. These folks basically need to be detained in order to await pending deportation, presumably await pending deportation. So to that end, in the past, it's my understanding, and to be clear, I mostly practice immigration law in a context of a practitioner operating abroad. So, strange as it may sound, my exposure to how things like ICE work within the United States is a bit limited. But it's my understanding that in many circumstances, there were certain agreements put in place between federal and state authorities whereby certain illegal immigrants who were detained in the United States would oftentimes be housed and detained in state facilities, notwithstanding the fact that the federal government would pay the state essentially to house such individuals. Clearly, the administration is making changes. Clearly, they're taking steps to go ahead and just house these individuals directly, and it would appear that they're looking to do that directly under the auspices of ICE, although it's not clear from the article that I was reading whether they were going to use like state facilities, sort of, for lack of a better term, loaned out to the feds for purposes of detaining these individuals. It appears that's probable. It also appears it's probable that new facilities may be built, purpose-made for these kind of matters. It should be noted, as previously brought up in another video on this channel, the Trump administration is increasing the number of immigration judges, as well as enforcement mechanisms. They've also undertaken protocols and procedures to go ahead and limit the number of individuals from certain countries coming into the United States, and the so-called extreme vetting protocols, which are being implemented at various U.S. embassies and consulates abroad, are having impacts on those trying to get visas into the United States. So overall, this is just basically another report that sort of documents the increasingly stringency in the administration with respect to immigration policy, procedure, and enforcement, and it appears likely that this sort of tempo or theme will continue into the relatively near future.